So this is the live stream for the introduction to CryptoTraders tools. So over the past few months, you might have noticed that we've added a lot of new things to the server, just to help our members get the most value out of their memberships, and part of that are the new tools we've added. So these include the trading algorithms, the market scanners, and the data dashboard. So the purpose of today's stream is just to go through all of these, sort of explain how they work, so you guys know how to make use of them in your trading. And as part of the CryptoTraders server, the Toolkit is just one aspect of the things we have on offer, alongside the trade alerts sent by our analysts and top traders, and also our education library. So I do encourage you guys to make the most use out of this server and all of its features to succeed in your trading. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Firstly, going through the trading algorithms that we have at the moment. So right now we have 4 separate algorithms. Firstly, we have the BTC scalp algo, which sends out alerts around the time period of 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern EDT, and this can happen on weekends as well. So pretty much the idea behind this algorithm is that it uses the value area high and value area low concept to identify when price would be in a discount or premium range and suitable for an entry. And once price taps and reverts from the value area high or low, an entry is confirmed by an inverted fair value gap. So once an entry is confirmed, it sends out the stop loss based on a recent low and a fixed take profit target of 2R. So usually these are quite decent targets to use, but you may want to use your own targets and stop loss based on your own analysis. But pretty much we've built these algorithms with the idea that you should be able to blindly follow them and still come out on top over the long term. So that's the BTC scalp algo, and from the recent results you can see that it's performed quite decently since the latest update. And yeah, each trade is 2R, meaning you're standing to gain 2 times more than the maximum loss. So that means if you have 1 win and 1 loss, you should still be in profit due to the concept of this R system and basically good risk to reward ratios. So the old scalp algo scans the altcoin market for trade opportunities. So not just Bitcoin, but also alts and only altcoins. So the idea behind this algorithm is that it marks out the Asia session high and low, and then during the London and New York session, if the Asia high or low is swept, it then monitors the market for a confirmed trade entry, and this confirmation is sought through a sort of data-driven approach. So each altcoin has its own parameters, where how much confirmation is needed before an alert is sent out. And pretty much this algorithm we seek to have a target of at least 1R. So those are the short-term scalps that last about maybe 15 minutes to a few hours. And we also have different coins set at 2R and 3R, which are intended to be held for a bit longer, so intraday trades or multi-day holds as well. Nonetheless, this is also built behind the idea that you should be able to blindly follow and still come out in profit. But as with anything in trading, it's always a good idea to fit this with your own trading analysis and your own bias on the market as well for maximum effectiveness. So for example, if your bias for the day and based on your own analysis you're bullish on the market and the algorithm sends out long alerts, then those are potential opportunities for you to consider. So in terms of win rates, it's about 65% for the 1R scalps. So we have a few coins that are set to that parameter. So that includes near XLM, XRP. And then we have most of the other coins at a 2-hour target, and that's around a 45 to 50% win rate. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing the risk level and position sizes. We also have another altcoin algo called the Sol algo, and this one covers more than just Solana, but also a wide basket of altcoins. And this one is intended to be a specialist precision entry model, seeking for very high win rates. So we're looking at minimum 65%, with some coins reaching up to 83%. And just today we had an alert sent out on Arbitrum, which was another success, and you can see here the win rate is 83%, so 10 wins out of 12 trades, and you can see the long that it alerted today, which resulted in a target hit. So this algo seeks to be different to the old scalp algo, because this one can send alerts at any time of day, so that includes the Asia session and the Asia session as well as weekends. Alright, so the idea behind this is that our community members should be able to get market opportunities identified at any time of the day. Yeah, we will look to change the Sol name, because I initially intended it to only scan for Solana trade opportunities. But there's just some back-end complications that makes it so we can't change it just yet. But I understand what you mean. Thanks for the feedback. And just a quick note in terms of the core logic behind this algorithm. It's actually quite straightforward. It's an indicator-based algorithm, unlike the BTC scalp algo and the alt scalp algo, which are based on price action. So this one is solely indicator based, and it's pretty straightforward actually. So basically when price retraces and taps a dual EMA at the same time as a stochastic RSI crossover, when that confluence occurs is when a trade is alerted. Right, so if we look at the recent examples here on Arbitrum, so you can see here a tap of the dual EMA, and if you open up the stochastic RSI as well, you'll notice at the time of the alert, the stock RSI is crossing down for a short and crossing upwards for a long. It's actually a pretty simple confluence. It doesn't happen that much, which is why not many people trade it, but we have the advantage of this being automatically identified for us for these really good trading setups. And lastly, we have the trading bot developed by David. This one analyzes the Bitcoin market for trading opportunities and pulls its data from the 5-minute Binance futures chart. This one is based on price action, so it detects swing levels and identifies possible market turning points, and only enters at discount or premium ranges for positive risk to reward ratios. So this one is a bit different to BTC's scalp algo, because this one's built on Python, so we have the additional features of a portfolio tracking tool. It's a basically simulation of how your portfolio would look like if you trade only these alerts and risk 1% of your portfolio in each trade. So it's basically intended to give you an idea of how realistic trading looks like, and it also allows you to track the progress of the trading bot as time goes on. And from the backtesting, the results are very positive, so it's very profitable over the long run, and we hope to see that reflected in forward testing as well after it. So now it's officially released, and you can see that it's already sent out its first trade. Alright, so moving on to the other toolkit, other things in the toolkit. So we've covered the algorithms. So now we'll look at the market scanners and other tools. So we have the H4 setups, which is basically a market scanner which checks the 4-hour time frame for trading setups. And from first glance, it might be quite intimidating because it lists out a lot of coins to look at and different categories, which might be a bit unclear to most of you. So we'll just go through that real quick with a bunch of examples. Alright, so we have breakdown and breakout, which should be quite self-explanatory. But in terms of the technical definition, it's basically where price either breaks below or above a recent swing low or high, whilst also trading below or above moving averages. So on top of a break of market structure, it also checks the EMAs for additional confluence. And just to note that it's also most reliable after proper consolidation. So yeah, if your trading style is to trade momentum and breakouts, this can be quite useful as a way of identifying strength in the market. We also have bullish sweeps and bearish sweeps. So a bullish sweep is where price sweeps a 4-hour low, like here, and the technical parameter is a 5-candle swing low. So not just any swing low, but a 5-candle one. And basically the idea is that when price moves briefly below a swing low, but swiftly rejects off that level and bounces back, it suggests that there are trapped sellers and points towards a trend reversal. The idea is that we have breakout traders who enter the breakdown but get trapped. So yeah, that's the bullish sweep, and for bearish sweep you just swap that around. Pretty straightforward. And then we have bullish sweep in FEG and bearish sweep in FEG, and it's basically just like a slightly more powerful model in terms of having an additional confluence of the sweep occurring within a fair value gap. Right, so we understand that a fair value gap can be seen as a sort of support or resistance zone. So when a sweep lines up with this fair value gap, it sort of provides a more higher probability of a reversal. So you can see in these two examples here. So this is a sweep of a 4-hour swing high, which also traded into an unmitigated fair value gap, and you can see that from that marked out the top of the price action, resulting in a rejection, strong rejection, and further breakdown. And yeah, definitely bullish sweep in FEG is a strong pattern. And as always with everything in trading, it's not a trading signal to blindly ape into the position, but it's just like a scanner to help you identify the setups. So you pick something out from the list, you check the chart, and if there's a solid setup that aligns with your trading strategy, that's when you enter the position and basically make the trades up. And lastly, we have momentum. So this one I quite like to use as well because it helps you identify the relative overperformers in the market. The technical parameter is that price is in an uptrend with the price above all of the major moving averages, and the RSI also indicates strength but hasn't entered the overbought zone, so above 70. And how you use momentum, it tends to show up a bit less often, but it's just a way to find which altcoins are outperforming others in the market. And same as all the other things in the H4 setups, you simply just open up the chart and see if it aligns with your own trading setup. So it's basically a market scanner for you to find the setups to help you save some time. And these cover like various different categories, and hopefully it fits like the different trading styles that you guys would have. Alright, next up we also have the Orient alerts, which is categorized into the open interest alerts, volatility alerts, and the cartel alerts. I personally find the open interest and cartel alerts to be the most useful and highest potential of catching a very good trade off it. And for open interest, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically when open interest is showing like a sustained movement upwards, uptrend in the open interest, and this is often supported by a strong trend in the price action. So like very simply, generally, an uptrend in price supported by open interest is quite healthy and indicates a further continuation. Right, so we have a basic example here on CTSI yesterday. So the scanner identified that the open interest has been climbing steadily, and you can see there's like a basic small screenshot of the recent price action, which is another decent uptrend. Right, so uptrend, open interest uptrend as well. You can see that from there, price expanded by a further 46%. So very high potential tool to help you catch these high momentum moves, and that's why I find it to be very helpful. So if your style of trading is catching like high momentum moves, catching a trend, yeah, the open interest alert is very useful. And just a quick tip as well, price can also be moving down with open interest going up, and that would generally be a bearish sign. And also note that when open interest is moving up, but price is like spiking up very quickly, those tend to be like more scammy moves, and you should be more cautious about that. So like the stronger setups tend to be like a more like sustained uptrend over a longer period of time, rather than just like a massive like 30% 15-minute candle, which often just gets sold off pretty quickly. So yeah, let's have a look through a few recent alerts sent by the open interest scanner, and we can compare like the how we can potentially make use of it. So if you go to the open interest alerts channel now, you'll see the latest one is on HOT. Alright, so you can see that it sent an alert about 5 hours ago. So 5 hours ago is during this candle here. Yeah, this candle here. Right, so you can see what I mean by like sudden spikes up with a spike up in open interest. This is not necessarily a strong bullish setup. You can see that the spike happened too rapidly. It's like it kind of like is uncharacteristic of the recent price action. So this was like a spike up of 12% in just 2 candles, and the end result is that it was not sustained despite the spike in open interest. And you can also see the spike took out like some key buy side liquidity targets. So yeah, definitely like align these alerts with your own levels on the chart, and be cautious when there's like a sudden spike up that isn't supported by the recent price action. Let's have a look at another example and compare the results. So we have NMR as well. Right, and it's like pretty similar to what we just looked at with HOT. In terms of like the price suddenly spiking up, sweeping out the sell side, buy side liquidity targets, and not being a sustained upside movement. Yeah, so a lot of the recent examples you can see, these moves haven't really been sustained. Market's been pretty scammy these past few weekends. Just looking for a better example. So I think yeah, so from what I can see, the ones where like it's a more steady uptrend, that's characteristic of the recent price action. Those tend to be supported more strongly and sustained for a bit longer. So that's just something that I've observed, and you can see this example in the CTSI. So next up we have cartel alerts. So these are when the scanner detects unusual synchronized behavior in price, volume, and open interest. The exact parameters we're not too sure of, but generally what we can expect is like fast movements, up or down. So those can be quite good to help you identify the scalping opportunities. Right, and as with the open interest alert, I feel like a lot of them, you wouldn't be able to really take any action on it, but there definitely are like situations where the cartel alert aligns with the recent price action and subsequently offers a really good trading opportunity. So from what I can see, it sends out some recent alerts on Alpine, so we can have a quick look at what's going on over here. So this is the cartel alert from 2 days ago. So you can see the price was at around 1.45, which is here. And you can see this time is quite accurate in its projection of like the unusual synchronized behavior in volume, price, and open interest. And from there, the price saw a very large expansion of over 65%. So definitely worth keeping your eye out on that and trying to frame a setup if it aligns with the recent price action. So overall, I find that the RN alerts are really good to help you identify these expansive trading opportunities, usually to the upside, and it's worth keeping an eye on it every so often, and it can definitely help you like find a few banger trades if you get the setup correct. So just very recently we have the CTSI example, and also just Alpine, which I showed you from the cartel alerts. And for volatility alerts, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I personally don't use it too much, but it can be quite good if you're a scalper who's willing to short, because it identifies like those scam pumps quite early, and what you can do is see if the pump has reached any like key higher time frame price levels, like key highs or order blocks or weekly, daily fair value gaps. And when that occurs, you can look to short the scam pump. So that's what I think is the main use of the volatility alerts. But just generally, it's just a way to find like when a coin is moving significantly more than the rest of the market. Next up, we have the data dashboard. So this one allows you to find the top gainers, the top losers on multiple time frames just with a click of one. So it's a very neat feature. yeah, so really good point in chat. So open interest and cartel is also good for making a list and rotating in or scaling in a long over time on a downswing. They usually come back to pump it up again. So yeah, that's definitely a good point, because where price is relatively stable or like slow uptrending, like slowly but not significantly, it's also a sign of like accumulation of large positions, and it leads to expansive price movements. So that's the idea behind that. And yeah, data dashboard is a very neat feature because it's just like the way you can view the top movers in multiple different time frames, and so quickly as well. Right, so if you're a scalper, you can use the 15-minute or the 5-minute feature and find like the very recent movements and catch like an expansive move very early on. Right, and just in general, it's a really good way to spot momentum leaders and breakout opportunities. So these features are all really good if you're a type of trader who likes to catch like momentous moves and trade breakouts. We also have like the top losers as well to identify the coins that has dropped the most in the particular time frame, and those you can use to identify like unusually heavy sell-offs and try to trade like an oversold bounce. So for instance, if there's like a negative news on a particular altcoin, you can identify it as it happens and see if you can catch like a short-term reversal bounce setup. Funding rates, so it shows the top 15 coins by highest and lowest funding rates, and if you're not aware by funding rates, basically just indicates like where futures traders are positioned. Negative funding indicates overcrowding of short positions, which is bullish, and positive funding rates indicates overcrowded long trades, which is bearish. So I think that's pretty straightforward. So how you can use this is like every so often you click the top negative funding, for example, and you see which coin has the highest negative funding, which indicates overcrowding of shorts and a potential short squeeze incoming. And you align that with your own chart analysis to identify a trade entry. So right now we can see that the top negative funding rates are MYX CDSI, right, which indicates that those two coins are generally the most shorted at the moment, and if the chart aligns with a bullish trading setup, it's a really good opportunity to take. Right, and something that I've noticed with negative funding rates as well, it's usually after a coin has pumped quite a bit, so quite risky trading setups. But I've seen like some really good trades based off that, like ones that caught like very high percentage moves. Lastly, we also have the RSI divergence scanner. So if you're not aware of what an RSI divergence is, it's basically where price is making a higher low, but RSI is making a lower low. Right, and that's an example of a bullish RSI divergence. And they don't really pop up too often, especially on the like higher time frames, like the 4-hour or the daily time frame. So that's why this scanner I find is very useful. It just saves us a lot of time with these sort of confluences that don't happen that frequently. And I find that in particular, hidden divergences on higher time frames are very effective. So we have an example right here on Blink yesterday, or maybe like early morning today, on So on link, we have a hidden bullish divergence detected when price was around $22, and if you check the chart now, it's around 24. So that's a solid 10% move. Right, and it alerted at 22, so around here, and you can try to look for your own trading setup. Right, so what I would do if I saw the alert when it was sent out is I would do my basic chart markups. So we have the low sweep here, so which is bullish. However, we also have the local range high here. So you want to see a break of this level, break of structure to the upside to confirm a sign of strength. So upon this H4 hidden divergence being identified by the scanner, I would look for a break of this level and then look to enter from a breakout into retracement and catch the further expansion to the upside. Right, and you can see just generally all of these tools are very good to check just from time to time. Right, you don't have to stare at it the whole day, but they're definitely very good to save you on time in terms of finding the best trading opportunities across the market. Alright, so you can see from the recent alerts, so those are a lot of bearish divergences, and you can see those are on the 15-minute time frame. Alright, so what that means is it's indicating a sort of reversal to the downside on the lower time frames. So think price movements of around maybe 300 to 1,000 on Bitcoin, or maybe 0.5 to 2% on altcoins. Right, so when the divergence is detected on a lower time frame, don't expect it to make a massively expansive move, but instead expect a sort of maybe more short-term downswing or upswing. Right, and we can sort of see that playing out already across the market with these bearish divergences identified by the scanner. So it's identified Bitcoin, Solana, DOT, Link, a whole lot of different coins, and you can see it was alerted around 3 hours ago at this price point here, and you can see price is now making a small movement to the downside. So the key takeaway here is lower time frame divergences are good for sort of scalping opportunities, whereas divergences on the 4-hour and higher time frames are good for more expansive price movements, especially the hidden divergences, which I find to be rarer but very effective. Yep, and yeah, good point by David here on the example on Link. It was truly a very clean example, so definitely keep an eye out on something like that in the future. Alright, so that basically sums up what all of the new tools that we have around here in CryptoTraders. And basically, if you're to take away anything from all this, is that first have a basic understanding of how each of these work, what exactly they're showing, and second, how to use these tools, which is to basically just pop to the channels every so often when you're actively trading, and it helps you identify the recent and current trading setups. And I've also gone through a few tips on how to make the best use of them and when to be cautious in terms of the alerts sent out by these scanners. Do you guys have any questions? So in terms of the source code for the algorithm, so it will be released as an indicator soon, hopefully by next week. So as an indicator, what you can do, right, is you can play around with the settings yourself. So these are the default settings that I find to be the most effective. So the dual EMAs are 50 and 100. The stochastic RSI settings are as follows. So I've adjusted this a little bit just based on the backtesting data. So I'm using 32 stock length, and I'm using 35 and 65 as the crossover levels rather than 30 and 70. So I just found that like 35 and 65 allows for more trades without compromising on the win rate. And then I also have the ATR settings. So that's average true length, and basically the algorithm uses average true range to set its targets and stop losses. And average true range is basically just the average of the recent price volatility. So if price has recently been very volatile, the stop loss would naturally be a bit further away. If price has been not volatile, as in like it's making very minimal movements, then the stop loss will naturally be a bit closer. Right, and I find that to be a very good concept to use in like automated trading. And yeah, very glad to see the positive feedback from you guys. So yeah, we'll always be working on new technology for crypto traders. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions for us to work on, please do leave that in the monthly surveys as well. We always look at the feedback from our members and try our best to address all of the feedback. We have a question about if any bots has used BTC dominance. So none of the bots use that at the moment. I find that with automated strategies, it's best to keep it restricted to like one concept rather than overloading it with like a lot of different things, because yeah, it tends to get a bit convoluted when you make it complex. It's just more effective to keep it nice and straightforward. So you can see that reflected in the BTC and Alt Scalp algo, which are based on price action concepts, whereas the Sol algo uses the EMA and stochastic RSI. And yeah, very good point about having BTC dominance open whilst trading altcoins. So if that's something that you like to do, I do want to point your attention to our partnership with Tealstreet, which is a trading terminal that allows you to basically set your trading terminal to however layout that you'd like. Right, so as an example here, alright, this is like an example of how it might look like. So you have the main chart here with all of the trading view tools. You can enter and exit positions on the chart or in this place order section, and then you can also put on the side smaller charts like BTC dominance, Bitcoin on lower time frames, and even open interest. Right, so if that's something that interests you, head over to the partnerships channel under the information section and have a look for yourself. So it's called Tealstreet. I'll put that in the chat and the link as well. And back to what I was saying in terms of the Sol algo being available as an indicator soon. So Yeah, as I said, you can play around with the settings yourself and see how it affects like the trades identified and things like that. And basically, like as an indicator, you can tweak it to your own liking to any coin available on TradingView, and it'll mark out the entries, exits, targets, and stop losses out for you as well. And if you want to receive your own alerts as well, that's possible through setting a new alert. So like you click alerts here, and then you just press the add tool, and you can add your own alerts based on the Sol algo parameters. And at the moment, the alerts sent out in the channel are just like the coins I've identified to have the highest win rate and the best performance, and with the settings tweaked to each particular altcoin. So yeah, our idea behind all of that is you should be able to follow the trades without too much evaluation and still come out in profit. But since a lot of you also have like a lot of trading experience and your own trading styles, yeah, I'd also like to release this as an indicator so you guys can try out your own settings and things like that. But I'm not sure if I don't think I'll be releasing it as a release the source code just for like yeah, proprietary purposes. We don't want this to be showing up in other trading servers as well, because I truly think this algo is built different and something we can use here in CryptoTraders for a long time. Yeah, so once it's ready, I'll be making a few like adjustments, just like usability. So I'm thinking of adding like a sort of trading panel on the side which tells you like the trade entries and exits, but it will be shared on TradingView. The code won't be visible as David says, but yeah, you can tweak the settings yourself. You can set the alerts yourself, and basically yeah, you'll receive an alert when price is like retracing to a dual EMA with confluence of your stochastic crossover settings. You can even make it like a triple EMA retracement, but I find that to be a bit restrictive and not necessary. You can even change like the EMA lengths, but I find 50 and 100 to be fairly simple and usable as well. Thanks for all of the questions and all of the feedback. We definitely appreciate it. Are there any other questions you guys have? Yeah, exactly. So you can set the alerts so that you receive it in your email or as a phone notification. Quite handy. But if you do like the trade sent by our algorithms, make sure you do have the the algo alerts role equipped. So if you don't have that, just head to the claim role channel and click the button to receive the algo alerts role, and you'll be notified whenever one of our algorithms identifies a trade. Right, awesome. Thanks everyone for attending today's session. Hope it was informative for everyone. I'm glad I was able to go through all the new tools and things we have available here in CryptoTraders. We'll always be looking to listen to your feedback and incorporate new technology for our community members to use. Yeah, so I will be sharing these slides and the stream recording within the server afterwards if you'd like to go back to it. Otherwise, yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the weekend, and hope to catch you guys in the next stream. Thanks for listening.